about Resident Evil quite a lot on this channel. Whether it's Resident Evil knockoffs or weird spin-offs no one has ever heard of, this game series has been a constant over the years. And while all those knockoffs and spin-offs will forever hold a special place in my heart, and I could never bring myself to hate them, it is true that most of them are objectively not good. So today I want to change it up. I want to talk about my favorite Resident Evil games that are actually good, in my opinion. My favorite Resident Evil games are Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil 8 Village. Don't make me pick which one I like more, I can't choose. And don't get me wrong, I love the other mainline games too. But 7 and 8 have such a special place in my heart. The story and the characters mean everything to me. I got really attached to these games as soon as they came out. Back in 2017, I was a Baker family stan. I loved them. Then Village came out and the Four Lords walked into my life and I loved them even more than the Bakers. I got so invested in the characters and the lore and the themes of these games. They are everything to me. So for my Halloween video this year, I thought that I could talk about the Resident Evil games that I adore. But I will admit, I almost backed out of this video at the last second. I got recommended these videos on TikTok of people being like, 7 and 8 suck and are horrible, and anyone who likes them and their story is dumb and stupid. And then I was like, oh no, I'm dumb and stupid. But then I realized, you know what? I don't care. If liking these games makes me dumb and stupid, then I'm dumb and stupid and proud. Maybe they don't have the gameplay of Resident Evil 4, and maybe the stories aren't perfect, but I love them anyway and they make me happy, and I want to share my love for them. So if you've never played Resident Evil 7 or 8, but have always been curious about the plot, or if you love these games and want to reminisce on them, or you're just looking for a refresher on the latest installments before Resident Evil 9 comes out next year, then this is the video for you. Today, I'm going to take you through the plot of these two games and yap about things I love along the way. But first, the disclaimer. Please do not take this video as a serious review. In these videos, I focus more on the story rather than the gameplay, as that is what is most interesting to me. So if you're looking for someone to go in-depth on gameplay and things like that, this is not the video for you. I'm serious, I mean it. I'm not going to talk about the gameplay like at all. I'm a story girly, okay? That's kind of what we do on this channel. Also, please do not take this video as me hating on these games. I genuinely enjoy all the games that I talk about, even if I'm poking fun at them. We're just here to have some fun. Okay, disclaimer over. Let's first jump into the story of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It begins with a cutscene of this girl, Mia Winters. She's sending a video to her husband, Ethan. She says that she loves him and misses him, and she can't wait to be done with her babysitting job so that she can come home to him. Then we see a different video from Mia. In this one, she's looking a lot less happy. She's like, Ethan, I lied to you, and if you get this, stay away. After this, we cut to Ethan, who is not staying away. He's driving and talking on the phone to some guy. I don't know who he is. The game never tells you, and you never hear from him again, so we're just gonna call him Ethan's friend. So he tells his friend that after going missing 3 years ago, Mia reached out to him and asked him to pick her up at this house in Dulvey, Louisiana. So instead of calling the police to inform them about his missing wife, he just pulls up himself. Ethan Winters is a weird man. I love him, trust me, I do. He is very special to me, but he is weird, and sometimes makes very questionable decisions that I don't always agree with, but I still love him. Anyway, Ethan arrives at the house that Mia told him to go to, and yeah, as soon as I saw that house, I'd be calling the police. They can handle this, I'm out. The front gate is locked, so he decides to look for another entrance. On his search, he sees a man lurking in the woods, a sign that says, accept her gift, and this. Okay, if I wasn't out before, I'd definitely be out now. But not Ethan. He keeps going and finds Mia's driver's license, so she's definitely here. We're finally able to open our inventory now, and Ethan has a copy of the email Mia sent him. It says, Dulvey, Louisiana, Baker Farm. Come get me. That's it? Ethan read this and didn't think it was a prank? If it were me, I would have thought that someone hacked Mia's email and sent that to mess with me. I probably would have sent it to the police just in case, but that would have been about it. But Ethan, no questions asked, he's like, okay, I'm going. Like I said, Ethan Winters is weird. Ethan enters the guest house, and oh my god, this house is disgusting! He finds a VHS tape and decides to take a little break and watch it. It was filmed by a documentary crew called the Sewer Gators. We've got Peter, Andre, and the camera operator, Clancy. They make documentaries on strange and paranormal locations. They heard some rumors about this house and waltzed right in just like Ethan. They explain that this house belongs to the Baker family, and people have been going missing near here lately. Then Andre disappears. Peter is a big baby who's like, oh, Clancy, we need to find Andre. You go first, I'll follow behind you.
You first. Need a nice hero shot of me coming down the ladder. So, you first.
Clancy finds a secret passage in the fireplace and... Huh. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Go ahead and approach him, Clancy. You'll be okay. So after Ethan sees this, he decides to follow in Clancy's footsteps and head through the fireplace passage. Ethan is the bravest man on the planet. But it's a good thing he went down there because he found Mia. Yay! But she's acting a little weird.
You contacted her.
No, I wouldn't. Did I?
Did anyone see you? Did he see you?
Who else is here? What the hell's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
Daddy?
We need to go now!
I'm sorry, who's coming? Ethan follows Mia until they reach a wall that causes her to freak out, because there used to be a door there, but now it's gone. Ethan looks around for another exit when all of a sudden... I guess we found the door. Ethan heads upstairs and looks around until he hears some banging from the door he just came from. The good news is it's just Mia. The bad news is that Mia is possessed. She attacks Ethan with a knife until she seems to have a moment of clarity. She cries and says, "I can hear her. I can feel her crawling her way inside of me." She begs for whoever this is to get out, and she bangs her head on the wall until she passes out. So, Ethan is safe for now, but okay, never mind. Ethan axes his wife to death, which I'm sure has to be very traumatic. He's handling it well. The phone rings, and Ethan picks it up.
You really shouldn't have come here.
You think? This is Zoe, the daughter of the Baker family. She tells Ethan that there's a way out through the attic, so he heads that way.
It's okay. It's okay, it's me.
Oh, Ethan! Your wife isn't dead! I'm not sure if this is good or bad news for you. And so begins the endless damage that Ethan's hands will receive throughout these two games. With one hand and a dream, Ethan heads to the attic and finds a ladder that leads outside. This poor man cannot catch a break. Ethan is forced to shoot his wife until she collapses, but I think we all know she won't die that easily. But at least Ethan has a chance to escape now.
Welcome to the family, son.
Ethan is dragged to the main house as he fades in and out of consciousness. He wakes up to see Zoe stapling his hand back on? How? He passes out again after that, which is fair. I think I would too. When he finally wakes up, he's met with a shocking sight.
Where am I? What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
So this is the Baker family. We've got Jack, Marguerite, Lucas, and if you look over to your left, you'll see the ever lively Granny. Don't they seem nice?
Eat it. It's good.
Dumb son bitch wasn't no good if it hit him.
Yes.
Did he just say, not again? Ethan is saved by the phone ringing. The family assumes it's the police and leaves to go deal with it. This gives Ethan a chance to escape, but unfortunately he runs into Jack pretty quickly and he's chased all over the house.
Peekaboo!
Found you! Ethan! Ethan! Ethan!
God damn. How am I gonna replace these?
Jack is both insanely terrifying and incredibly entertaining. I love him. If you're not careful, Jack can actually cut off Ethan's leg, but he's like, hey, it's okay. You can just put it back on by pouring some medicine on it. Sure, why not? Eventually, Ethan hears someone yelling into the house from one of the poorly boarded up windows. It's a cop, and Ethan begs him for help, but he's like, I don't know. You might be a bad man. You're acting kind of crazy. Yeah, because he's been kidnapped by a bunch of evil residents. Do you want him to be calm in that situation? Ethan somehow convinces the cop to lend him a knife, and he agrees to meet with him in the garage. But Jack sneaks up on the officer, and Ethan does a terrible job at warning him of the incoming danger. So now Ethan has to try to fight Jack while he Tokyo drifts around the garage.
Better start running.
Again, terrifying but entertaining is the only way to describe this man. After a bit, Jack crashes the car and dies. Oh. Maybe not? Oh. He's dead again. Time to run, Ethan. Oh my god! Why won't you die?
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see something wonderful. Whoa.
Fuck!
Wow, Jack, you're right. That was wonderful. Ethan gets another phone call from Zoe, who tells him that he needs to find the keys to get outside. As he explores, he runs into Grandma. I have no clue how she managed to move. He finds another tape that Mia recorded and left for Ethan. She explains that that wasn't her earlier, and she's so sorry. In the video, she sees a little girl, which is creepy.
Over here, Mommy.
Then she gets chased around by Marguerite. As a character, I love Marguerite. She's great. Now, that being said, there is not a single thing in this game that terrifies me more than her. I'm so scared of her.
Where do you think you're going?
Ethan continues to look around the house for the key. This man is indestructible! Jack chases Ethan around the house as he looks for the key to get outside. You hear Jack continuously talking about his little girl and the gift she gave him. He says that he was going to be her father until Ethan came along, which seems to upset him. He's clearly not talking about his actual daughter Zoe, so who the heck is this girl that everyone's referring to? Ethan finally reaches a Jack-free area and can breathe for a minute. But only for a minute.
What the?
So that horrifying creature is called the Molded, and they're all over the Baker property, including their dissection room basement. What, is that not normal? You mean you don't have a dissection room in your basement filled with countless mold monsters and lists of victims? It's time for Ethan to finally, hopefully, kill Jack in his boss fight. He finds a chainsaw and attacks him with it until he's nothing but legs.
Do me a favor and stay dead.
Yes, what he said. Please don't come back. Ethan finally has the keys to escape the house, but it just leads to the courtyard. He's unfortunately still stuck on Baker property. He heads to this trailer, and he gets another call from Zoe. She says that she, her family, and Mia are all contaminated, and they can't leave the property unless they have a serum that will cure them. She says that her mom probably has some ingredients for the serum in the old house she was chasing Mia around in earlier.
I just hope you can handle my mother.
I don't want to handle your mother. She's scary. Ethan heads over to the old house, and oh my god, bugs! Bugs everywhere! Ew!
Stay the fuck out!
Marguerite, there is nothing I would love more than to stay out of your bug-infested house, but Ethan won't let me. So Marguerite is on the loose now, but she sends swarms of bugs after you instead of attacking you herself, and I can't tell if that's better or worse. Finally, something good happens. Ethan finds Mia again.
No more bullshit, Mia. I want some answers.
I know, you're right, and I always wanted to tell you, but I can only remember a little, and the rest is just gone.
Daddy, right? You mind if I borrow Mommy for a little bit? Why don't you stand there? Do something!
Ethan, help!
Well, that was short-lived. Also, did he just call me daddy? Ethan finds a key to a room that he thinks the serum ingredients are in, which triggers the most terrifying jump scare in the game. This is me warning you, I'm about to show it.
I told you to stay out of here!
Ethan falls through the floor and is forced to shoot Marguerite from below until she falls into the hole herself and is swallowed up by black moldy goop. Ethan goes back to unlock that door, this time without a horrifying jump scare, and finds a list of ingredients for the serum. A D-series head and arm. Zoe calls and is like, oh yeah, I've got a D-series head, no biggie. Ethan just needs to find the arm, which is probably in another locked off part of the old house, and it can only be opened by placing Marguerite's lamp that she always carries around on this thing. It wouldn't be a Resident Evil game without bizarre locks for doors. So all Ethan has to do is head back over to Marguerite's body in the goop and grab the lamp. Oh no.
That's special.
Ethan Winters, you are such a strange man. In what world do you see that? And your response is this.
That's special.
Mia is so lucky to have married the bravest man on earth. Anyway, remember how earlier I said that Marguerite jump scare was the scariest one in the game? Well, I'm realizing now that may have been a false statement. I think that jump scare is tied with this one. This is me warning you again. Get ready. So now you have to fight Marguerite in her bug form, and I'm not going to discuss it in great detail or show very much of it because it really grosses me out. I don't want to talk about it. So let's jump straight to Ethan killing her. Yay, he did it! Now he can take the lamp and go get that D-series arm from this disgusting body, and oh hey, there's that little girl again. Ethan heads back to the trailer and the phone rings. He expects it to be Zoe, but surprise, surprise, it's Lucas. He says that he's kidnapped Zoe and Mia, and if he wants any shot at saving them, he has to find the key cards that open the door to the testing area where he's at. He has to go back into the house to find their key cards. There, he runs into some new versions of the Molded. He finds Grandma, who has somehow moved on her own again, and he discovers another tape titled Happy Birthday. This is a tape of Clancy. Do you remember Clancy, the cameraman from the start? Well, we finally get to see what happened to him. Lucas locked him in an escape room he created. The goal is to light the candle on this birthday cake. Basically, water sprays from the ceiling when you get near the cake, so Clancy has to find a way to turn the water off so he can bring the fire through. To do this, Clancy has to go through a lot of very painful traps. Lucas is basically Jigsaw. One of the first things Clancy has to do is take this winding key out of a barrel, which results in oil spilling all over the floor. Once Clancy finally puts the lit candle on the cake, it explodes, and the room catches on fire thanks to the oil all over the floor, and Clancy burns to death. Rest in peace, Clancy. Ethan finally gets the key cards and heads over to the testing area where Lucas is blasting some interesting music. Inside Inside, Lucas appears on a TV. He shows Ethan that he took the D-series head from Zoe. Then he starts ripping his fingernails off, as you do. He yells off screen to someone named Evelyn. He shouts that he doesn't want to turn back the clock and go back to how things were before his family found her.
Oh, come on, Ethan. What do you say?
Fuck!
Good answer, Ethan. So now it's time for Ethan to make it through the House of Traps while Lucas taunts him through the speakers. But first, I want to tell you about how back in 2017, at the peak of my obsession with this game, I wanted so badly for Lucas to be this deep, interesting, morally gray villain. But unfortunately, as I progressed through the game, I realized he's not. He's just kind of a jerk, and also very murderous. You can find notes in the house that Lucas wrote as a kid. He talks about how Marguerite took him for brain scans because there's something different about him. Now, Lucas is extremely smart, but he was bullied because of it. So one day, he locked one of his bullies in the attic, and he died up there. So Lucas has never been a great guy. But I have to admit it, I find Lucas so entertaining and funny.
Woo! You have got a good eye.
Kiss my ass.
Ethan, language. There are children in the building. Somewhere. I think. I'm not sure anymore. Ethan, you ever wonder how you got to this point? What you got against Christ, Ethan? Fat man down! Fat man down! He was never my favorite anyways. I'm calling the game. I'd really like to make it out of this room alive and not die a horrible, painful death. I know. It's a temp title.
He's an awful person, but throughout this whole section of the game, I'm just like, yes, speak more, funny evil man. Eventually, Ethan gets locked in the happy birthday puzzle room, but since he watched the Clancy tape, he knows all of the passwords and can skip past almost everything, including grabbing that winding key that spills oil all over the floor, and he's able to light the candle without the room catching on fire. This makes Lucas pretty mad, so he throws a bomb through the wall, but Ethan, the absolute legend, just throws it right back at him. He's able to make it to the room that Lucas has been hiding out in all this time, but he's run away and you never see him again. Lucas knew that he stood no chance against Ethan and was like, nope, which was definitely the smart decision after seeing everything Ethan can do throughout this series. Ethan grabs the D-series head and goes to save Mia and Zoe, who are tied up nearby. He gives Zoe the head and arm, and she somehow turns that into a serum and puts it in these little syringes in like 15 seconds.
He's coming. Daddy's coming.
Mia, what do you mean, Daddy's coming?
Zoe! Get your ass back to the house! I will deal with you later!
Michael Myers, Jason, all of those slasher movie villains, they have nothing on Jack Baker. This man is impossible to kill. Zoe gives Ethan one of the serum doses and tells him to use it on Jack, which causes him to calcify. Afterwards, Ethan walks over to the girls and tells them that now there's only one dose of the serum left. And Zoe acts so shocked about this.
There's only one left. There can't just be one left. What the hell are we gonna do now?
Why are you so surprised? You're the one that told him to use one of the doses on Jack. Did you forget how to count? And here it is, the infamous choice that baffles Resident Evil fans because of how pointless it is. Hey, Ethan, do you want to cure your wife, who you love and came here looking for? Or this woman you met 5 minutes ago? Obviously, the correct choice is to pick Mia. That's how you get the good/canon ending. If you pick Zoe, she just calcifies and dies 5 minutes later, and in the final cutscene of the game, it's implied that Mia died. Those are the only differences in the two endings, so was this choice really necessary? Like, it would just be so out of character for Ethan to pick Zoe, so just get rid of the choice and have him pick Mia no matter what. Ethan and Mia leave on a boat, and Zoe is really bad about it.
Come with us. I'm sure there's someone who can help.
This is not home. Apparently I belong here.
I'm sorry, Zoe, but you're not my wife. Maybe you should use your extra time captured here to learn how to count. Ethan and Mia escape, but it's pretty short-lived.
Is that the boat? How the fuck did that get here? Oh, you're okay. What the hell was that? What the fuck?
When you wake up, you're no longer controlling Ethan. Now you're Mia, and you're trying to find where Ethan ended up on this huge ship. She keeps seeing strange visions of the little girl who we now know is Evelyn. Evelyn asks her to watch a tape, which shows how all of this started. So Mia worked for a group called the Connections, and they make bioweapons because of course they do. This is Resident Evil. The Connections were working on making a bioweapon disguised as a little girl. The E-series of this weapon, which they named Evelyn, was successful. They programmed her to want a family. That's how she lures people in. She's just a sad girl that wants a family. But that's how she gets you. She takes over your mind and makes you see hallucinations. Evelyn was made using a special type of mold from something called the megamycete. She's able to control that mold, which is where the mold had come from, and the mold itself causes the infection that lets Evelyn control you. Mia and her coworker Alan were supposed to take Evelyn to another location, so they pretended to be her parents and boarded this ship. However, Evelyn got loose. She started to spread her mold and infect people. Mia tried to track her down and stop her. Evelyn asked Mia if they could be a family, and Mia agreed in an attempt to appease her, which would quickly prove to be the wrong decision. Alan started to get pretty fed up with Evelyn and insulted her, which would also prove to be the wrong decision.
That little bitch, she never trusted. Okay, wait. Evie, no, Evie.
Alan, listen.
I didn't mean to call you that.
She's
Evie,
trying to take control. You have to fight her.
Mia rushes to send Ethan a video, which is the one we saw at the start of the game. Evelyn destroys the ship, and Mia is thrown into the sea. We're back to playing as Ethan now, who wakes up to a terrifying sight.
Ethan? Hey, shh. I know. I'm not gonna hurt you. Hell, I never would have if I could have helped you.
It looks like Jack is a lot less murderous right now, which is great. Now, there's no way that I can do this scene justice by just describing it to you, so I'm going to let Jack do the talking.
That girl, Evelyn, she did this. What the hell is she? Now, what did she do to you? She infected us with her gift. That's what she calls it. I found her near a busted out tank in the bayou. Everything changed after that. She forces her way into your mind, your soul. You can't fight back. You are connected to her, and you can't resist the urge to. Oh, you're a different person after that. She's the key. All right? You find her, and you stop her. Ethan, free my family. Please.
The Baker family used to be good people, but they found Mia and Evelyn, who washed ashore after the ship crashed, and took them in out of the kindness of their hearts. But Evelyn took advantage of that and infected them, taking control of their minds and making them the deranged killers we see in the game. And it's obvious they tried to fight it. You can find a note in the house that Marguerite got from her doctor. After getting infected, she tried to seek help and find answers about what was happening to her, but it was too late. The Baker family just breaks my heart. Mia frees Ethan from the moldy prison he's been trapped in. She unfortunately seems to be infected again, so she pushes him outside and begs him to kill Evelyn. He has to go through the salt mine under the Baker's property to get back to the house. He finds a lab with a bunch of stuff from the Connections. There are some emails that show Lucas and the Connections have been in touch. In fact, they were able to cure him ages ago, and he's just been acting like he's been infected since then to fool Evelyn and provide information on her to the Connections. So yeah, Lucas hasn't been under Evelyn's control for a long time. He was doing all of that messed up stuff on his own. He really isn't a great guy. Still entertaining though. Also, one of Lucas's notes to the Connections says, by the way, Evie's looking sick or something. Her skin is getting all wrinkly, and she's getting gray hairs. Is that supposed to happen? It almost seems like she's getting old all of a sudden. She's getting old all of a sudden? Evelyn has been the grandma this whole time? Ethan finds a serum in the lab and heads back to the house, but Evelyn is causing tons of hallucinations at this point. Ethan fights against them and injects the serum into Evelyn.
You.
Why does everyone hate me?
Evelyn really is such a conflicting character because she just wanted a family, but she hurt a lot of people for it. But she's also a bioweapon who was programmed to hurt people. But she was also programmed to want a family. It's just this never-ending circle of do I feel bad for her, or do I hate her, or both. Evelyn gets really big and explodes out of the house. Helicopters fly overhead and someone drops a special gun for Ethan to use on Evelyn. He finally kills her and help has arrived.
I'm Redfield. Glad we found you.
That's Chris Redfield? Chris, what happened to you? If you're not familiar with the Resident Evil series, Chris is in other games, and he looks nothing like that. Chris seems to be working for a group called Blue Umbrella, which, if you know anything about Resident Evil, that name is very concerning. But apparently they're a reformed umbrella corporation, but Chris doesn't actually trust them. He works for the BSAA, but is just kind of on loan to Umbrella right now. I don't know. It's a bit confusing, and honestly, the logistics of all the companies and who's working for who and what they all do has never been what interested me about this series. Anyway, they save Ethan and take him away in a helicopter with Mia. Hooray, they're both alive and okay! Now, Resident Evil 7 does have a lot of DLC. Some is just plain silly, like this one. Some of them give you more context about what happened to Clancy, like this one, where he tries to escape from the bedroom Marguerite locked him in, and she's as terrifying as always.
Clancy, where are you? Are you in there?
Or this one, where he's forced to play a sadistic card game run by Lucas, who is as messed up but entertaining as always.
So pay attention, because it's life or death. Yours. Woo!
There's DLC where Chris goes down into the mines where Lucas has been hiding ever since he ran from Ethan. Chris kills him. I won't lie, it kind of hurt me that they just killed him off in a DLC. I so badly wanted him to be a recurring villain in the series. There's this other DLC called The End of Zoe, where you play as Zoe's Uncle Joe, who just so happens to live nearby in a cabin in the woods. Zoe is starting to calcify and is kidnapped by a monster, and Joe saves her by just straight up punching all the molded that get in his way.
Alright, mold motherfucker. I'll take you fuckers with my bare hands.
This DLC is so insane. In the end, it's revealed that the monster is Jack, who still won't die, but the little bit of him that was left was trying to save his daughter, so that's really sweet. Zoe is able to be cured, and Chris and crew show up to help her. Then she gets a call from Ethan, and he's like, "See, I didn't leave you behind after all."
You didn't forget about me.
I told you I'd send help, and I always keep my promises.
Thank you, Ethan.
Ethan, honey, no offense, but you really didn't do anything for Zoe. You told Chris and crew to help her after she was already saved by Uncle Joe. But whatever, she gets her happy ending and that's all that matters. My favorite of all the Resident Evil DLCs is called Daughters, which shows the moment the Baker family found Evelyn and how she took control of them. This DLC is so sad because you get to see the Baker family as the normal, sweet, caring family they were before everything happened.
Zoe, go get some fresh clothes from the laundry room, okay? Oh, looks like there's some sort of oil spill or something.
Yes.
Let's get this poor girl some fresh clothes and into a warm bed. We'll put her in Lucas's old room.
Oh, come on, can't you put her somewhere else?
Oh, Lucas, you just hush. You long outgrown that room. Always wanted another bed and breakfast.
You got your big break, didn't you?
They're so normal. It's so sad. You see them as this normal, happy family, and then she takes over Marguerite, and then Jack, and then they start chasing Zoe, and then you see Jack dragging Lucas into a room to force Evelyn's gift onto him. You play as Zoe desperately trying to escape them, and you see them trying to fight back against Evelyn, but you already know their fate. The end is inevitable. It just breaks my heart. They didn't deserve it. I love Resident Evil 7 so much. I love the story. I love Ethan and his determination to save his wife. I love the complexity of Evelyn. And more than anything, I love the Bakers. They were a normal, loving family who tried to help a little girl, but it ended up being their downfall. They were turned into deranged killers, even though they tried so hard to fight against it. And Zoe was forced to watch her family fall apart. The saddest part is that the Bakers would have happily welcomed Evelyn into their family. She didn't need to take over their minds, but that's all she knows how to do. So she ruined the lives of this family and so many others. Resident Evil 7 is so important to me. And now it is time to move on to a game that is equally important to me, Resident Evil 8 Village. This game opens with a super cool animation of a storybook. It's about a little girl getting lost in the woods and meeting 4 monsters along the way, who represent 4 characters that are very special to me. We realize that Mia is the one reading the story to her and Ethan's daughter, Rose. Aw, they had a baby! She's a little goofy looking, but good for them! It's been 3 years since the Baker incident, and Chris had Ethan and Mia move to Romania, and Ethan has been getting some military training. Aside from Mia not wanting to talk about what happened in Louisiana, despite Ethan insisting they work through it, they seem to be settling into their new life quite well. That is until Chris and his team show up, shoot Mia, steal Rose, and knock out and kidnap Ethan.
Rose? What the hell you doing with my daughter?
Package secure, sir. Take him away.
I said get your hands off her!
Ethan, no.
After everything Chris just did, all he has to say about it is, Ethan, no. Ethan wakes up to find the car that Chris and crew were transporting him in crashed, and Rose is missing. He gets up and starts looking for any signs of life. That's when he stumbles upon the village, and the worst day of Ethan's life is about to begin. If you thought it couldn't get worse for Ethan than it did in the last game, you would be wrong. So Ethan wanders through the village and realizes that no one is around. He enters one of the houses and nearly gets shot by an old guy.
No, friendly.
I really don't know how he missed Ethan at such close range. He gives Ethan a gun to defend himself before getting snatched through the ceiling. Ethan gets pulled through the floor and discovers that he's surrounded by dead bodies. He sees something lurking down there with him. And let me tell you, he won't be liking what it is. It's a lichen. He rushes into another house and hears over a radio that any survivors should go to Louisa's house. So that's Ethan's new goal, but first he has to be chased around by lichens for a few minutes. Before they can kill him, a bell rings and they all run off. There's a hag nearby and Ethan talks to her. That's not me trying to be rude. Her name is literally Hag. She's like, oh hey, you're Rose's dad. She's in danger. Anyway, bye. Then he finds a girl named Elena and her injured father. They can't figure out how to get into Louisa's house, so Ethan finds a way to get the gate open in like 2 seconds, and Elena's dad is a total jerk about it.
Took your damn time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Inside Louisa's, the remaining survivors of the village all pray to someone named Mother Miranda. They tell Ethan that they used to be a quiet, devout village, and Mother Miranda always protected them from the monsters, so they don't know why this is happening. Then Elena's dad turns into a lichen and kills everyone but Ethan and Elena. The house is on fire, and the two rush up to the top floor in hopes of escaping through an open window. But Elena's father shows up again, which makes her act stupid.
He said my name! Father!
Wait, it's not safe! God damn it!
Well, rest in peace, Louisa and gang.
Stop! Mother Miranda! Hey!
Yeah, I really don't think Mother Miranda is protecting them anymore. Now Ethan heads to the big castle, and inside he runs into Carl Heisenberg, a character that I am so normal about.
Oh no! I hope when I pull this lever, a big, strong metal man doesn't show up and impale me with something. Oh no!
Well,
oh no!
Yeah, he's my favorite Resident Evil character. Anyway, it's immediately obvious that Heisenberg isn't a normal guy.
didn't think anyone was left. You must be pretty tough. Huh.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you're not local. Even better. Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
He drags Ethan to what looks like a church, and he wakes up to a whole cast of strange characters.
Furthermore, I can assure you that you entrust the mortal to House Dimitrescu. My daughters and I shall deliver them.
Way ugly! I want to see! He's awake!
Mother, shut the fuck up!
Say hello to Mother Miranda, the ruler and false prophet of this village, and the 4 lords that serve under her. First, we have the ever-popular Lady Dimitrescu. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with her, even if you're not a Resident Evil fan. People were down bad for her as soon as she appeared in the trailers of this game. She's a 9-foot-tall woman with claws for nails. She lives in Castle Dimitrescu, where she drains women of their blood to use in her wine. She's basically a vampire. Then we have Donna Beneviento and her talking doll Angie. They live in a house on the outskirts of the village surrounded by hallucinogenic plants that make you see weird stuff. And inside the house, you can find Donna and all of her lively doll friends. Third is Moreau. He's this gross fish-looking guy in charge of the village's reservoir. He can also turn into a huge fish monster and breathe underwater. Finally, we have Carl Heisenberg, who I'm so normal about.
I like your jacket.
You're whining. We're almost there.
I wasn't really whining, but okay. I mean, oh no!
He is in charge of the factory. As you saw earlier, he has the power to control metal due to the fact that he has electric organs. So the game doesn't tell you this until later, but it's going to make explaining all of this so much easier if I just tell you now. Mother Miranda has access to this lovely little parasite called the Cadeau. Cadeau? I don't know. I've heard everyone say it differently, so I don't know what the actual correct pronunciation is. She experimented on the villagers over many decades by putting Cadeau inside of them. Most of the experiments resulted in them turning into mindless lichens. Failures. But there were 4 successful experiments. The 4 lords. The Cadeau gave them powers, so Miranda gave each of them land to be in charge of, and they helped rule over the village. but ultimately their job is to work directly under her and help her with anything she may need, like performing more Cadeau experiments. Anyway, Mother Miranda says that Heisenberg can do whatever he wants with Ethan. He sends him through a maze of death traps, but Ethan is able to find a way to escape. He heads for the castle, as he suspects that Rose is there. Just outside the castle, he meets someone new.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
How do you know my name?
Anyone who is anyone has heard of the likes of you. A hero searching for his daughter.
So this is the Duke. We love the Duke. He's a shopkeeper that Ethan can buy stuff from, but he also just helps Ethan out throughout the game. He's the best. Now it's finally time to head inside the castle, but Ethan is immediately caught. These three are Bela, Cassandra, and Daniela. They're three of Lady D's Cadeau experiments who turned into these half-bug, half-human things. She views them as her daughters. They deliver Ethan to the lady herself, and she injures his poor hands even more. Of course, Ethan escapes and searches for Rose and a way out of the castle. Along the way, he's attacked by Bela. He breaks a window, letting cold air in. This weakens her because she's bugs. He's able to kill her now, which Lady Dimitrescu takes really well.
What have you done to my daughter?
He spies on her while she's on the phone with Mother Miranda in the worst hiding spot known to man. Like, dude, she can totally see you from there. Lady D tells Miranda that Ethan is on the loose in her castle, killing her daughters, but she doesn't seem to care very much and just reminds her of the importance of some ceremony. Lady Dimitrescu also takes this very well.
To hell with the ceremony! That man will pay for what he's done.
Ethan goes into her room, but Lady D just walks right back in and catches him because of course she does. She obviously saw him in his terrible hiding spot. She throws him through the floor and Ethan makes a run for it, but he is not fast enough to escape the tall lady.
Shit! Like I'd let you get away.
His hands really can't catch a break. He grabs his hand, and after escaping, he just puts it back on.
Good.
Ethan Winters is a weird man. So from here on, Lady D is roaming the castle, and you wouldn't think it'd be scary to be hunted down by an elegant tall woman, but it definitely is.
Wait long.
Ethan has to kill the two other bug daughters while looking for a way out of the castle. He makes it outside and finds the Dagger of Death's flowers. It's a dagger that's steeped in many poisons that someone tried to use to kill Lady D long ago, so she locked it away. But unfortunately for her, Ethan found it and used it on her, weakening her and causing her to transform into a monster. He's successfully able to kill her, R.I.P. tall woman, and he finds a strange flask. He takes the flask to the Duke, who tells him to take a closer look, and he realizes it's Rose's head. He explains that Miranda divided Rose into 4 pieces and put them in flasks and gave one to each lord. If Ethan can get all of the flasks, Rose can be put together. Rose seems to have some special powers, and is still alive despite being in pieces. So now Ethan heads to Donna Beneviento's house to get her flask. And this section is one of, if not the most scariest moment in all of Resident Evil. So remember how I said Donna has hallucinogenic plants around her house? Well, they have an effect on Ethan, and his greatest guilts and fears about Mia's death and failing Rose come to life in the most horrifying way. He starts to see visions of Mia as he approaches the house. Once inside, he heads down to the basement where he finds Angie with a flask. When he tries to grab the flask, the lights go out, and Angie explains that she can be a much better daughter than Rose. When the lights come back on, all of Ethan's items are gone, and he's trapped in the basement. This section is like an escape room, with the goal being to find the fuse for the elevator so he can get back upstairs. As he progresses, he hears Mia's voice talking about Rose, and how there's something wrong with her, and there's also baby motifs everywhere. Eventually, all the lights go out, and he hears a baby crying. He makes his way down the long, dark hallway. Oh my god, it's awful! I am not your dada! This disgusting, terrifying baby monster stalks Ethan as he searches for the fuse, and it's awful. He finally gets the elevator working and escapes the basement of horrors. Upstairs, he meets Donna, Angie, and all of the other dolls living there. You see, Donna implanted Cadeau in all of her dolls, so she could have a sort of telekinetic control over them. Ethan runs around the house, stabbing Angie, Then he finally wakes up from the hallucination, only to realize that he was stabbing Donna, not Angie. So in reality, Ethan was actually chasing Donna around the house stabbing her, which had to have been terrifying from her perspective. Ethan takes the flask and leaves this hellhole. Outside the house, you can find some notes that explain Donna's past. Her younger sister Claudia died at the age of 9, and her parents ended their own lives. This caused Donna to become very reclusive and full of anxiety. She'd only talk through her doll Angie, that her father made her, and she was very self-conscious about a scar on her eye. She'd spent her time alone making dolls. After Mother Miranda gave her a cadeau and she became a lord, it made her scar worse, which is why she hides her face. It also seems to have made her mental illness worse, hence the talking dolls and making people hallucinate from the plants around her house. I feel bad for Donna. Speaking of people I feel bad for, it's time for Ethan to head to the reservoir and get Moreau's flask. He finds Moreau sitting all by himself watching Static for some reason. I would like to take this moment to tell you that canonically, Moreau likes to watch romance movies and eat cheese in his free time, which is a mood and also cute. I know Moreau is supposed to be disgusting and he kills people, but I find him so pitiful. He breaks my heart and I don't know, he's adorable to me. Of the 4 lords, Moreau is the least compatible with the cadeau. It made him turn into this strange fish creature. His brain function is really low, and he can't control his transformation. He's always getting sick and turning into a big fish monster at random. He's also very desperate for Mother Miranda's love. He's probably the most devoted to her out of all of them, but she and the other lords are disgusted by him, and he's sad that he's always being made fun of. That is just so depressing. Anyway, Ethan swipes his flask, and the two have a long stare down.
Mother Miranda, if it's for you, I'd do anything.
Moreau blocks the exit with his gross goop, trapping Ethan in the reservoir. He searches for a way out and runs into Chris, who's just like, "Stay out of our business, Ethan." "Chris, you stole his baby and shot his wife. This is Ethan's business too." Before Ethan can get any more information out of him, they're attacked by a fish monster, which is revealed to be Moreau. Ethan has to run around the platforms on the water without Moreau eating him. As he chases Ethan, he has a lot of really depressing lines. But then he also says this. You know what, guys? Let's just let him have this one. He's the best. Ethan drains the water out of the reservoir so he can fight Moreau, and it honestly feels really mean to kill him when he keeps saying stuff like this. After defeating Moreau, someone contacts him.
You're better off than I thought.
Who's that?
Oh, come on. We just met a while back, not that it really matters.
You are so normal about him, Morgan. You like him a normal amount. Act normal. Heisenberg tells Ethan that he could lend him a hand, but he wants Ethan to complete a test first. He left his flask in the Lycan stronghold. If he's able to retrieve the flask, he passes. Heisenberg even leaves Ethan some helpful signs that tell him where to go. I'm obsessed with the idea of him putting up these signs when Ethan wasn't looking and then rushing back to the factory to act cool. Ethan obviously succeeds in getting the flask, and Heisenberg invites him to his factory. As he approaches, Heisenberg says that he likes him. He wants to have a talk with him and promises that it's not a trap. Inside, Heisenberg tries to be as hospitable as he can.
I'm healing my daughter.
Look, you got this all wrong. Tell them to. Shut your fucking hole! Sorry about that.
Ethan notices that he has a conspiracy board with pictures of his family and all of the lords.
Lady, supersized bitch. Ugly ass psycho doll. And then moronic freak. Don't you get it? It's a test. To see if you're strong enough to be a part of Miranda's family.
I don't want to be a part of Miranda's family.
Neither did I, but here we are!
So Heisenberg hates Miranda. She kidnapped him, experimented on him, and now he's been forced to serve her for decades. He hates her for what she did to him, and wants nothing more than to be free of her. He wants his life to be his own, but Miranda is incredibly strong, so he's been creating a metal army. When villagers die, he takes their bodies and implants cadeau into them to reanimate them. He gives them weapons and gear so that he can one day kill Miranda. He's seen what Ethan is capable of, and asks him to join him. He also suggests that they use Rose to destroy Miranda. Rose is extremely powerful, and even Miranda is scared of her. But once Ethan hears this, he's like, "Nope, screw you. I'm not taking your deal." Which obviously makes Heisenberg mad, and he drops Ethan into a hole to be chased by one of his creations, Sturm. This part is so frustrating to me, and so many others. You're telling me that you could give us the pointless decision in the last game to cure either Mia or Zoe, but you won't give us the choice to work with Heisenberg? Why? And Ethan didn't even try to negotiate with him or get more information. He was just like, "Nope, Look, Ethan, if you really didn't want Rose to be used, I think you could have convinced him that all you need is the powerful Heisenberg himself, the Metal Army, and Ethan the Lord Destroyer. Maybe you could have gotten Chris on your side too. But no, he won't do that. And this may have been the worst decision he ever made in his life, but we'll get to that later. Ethan makes that stupid choice and has to make his way through the factory, and I'm telling you, he loses his brain cells the second he steps foot in the factory, because now he just starts stating the obvious.
Seems useful. Could use this. It's dark.
And then he says this.
Take Rose? I'd like to see you try.
Ethan, they already took Rose. She's gone. And then Heisenberg continues to talk to Ethan as he goes through the factory. He talks about his hatred for Miranda and how Ethan shouldn't have refused him. And I'm like, I know. I love Ethan, but he and I are fighting right now. Eventually, Ethan has to fight Sturm. Heisenberg's notes say that Sturm is a complete failure, and I'd have to agree with him on that one. Ethan thinks that he can leave the factory now, but he's stopped by the absolute legend.
What the?
Not bad, Rangers. You're persistent. But I've got a rebellion too. So stay out of my way.
He's so cool! Why can't I work with him? He transforms and knocks Ethan down to the bottom of the factory where he runs into Chris.
You killed my wife, you son of a bitch! You think I killed Mia? That wasn't her. It was Miranda.
What?
She's a bioweapon. She changed her appearance and pretended to be Mia.
And how was Ethan supposed to know that, Chris? You didn't tell him anything.
Why'd you fucking tell me right away?
Because I knew you would want to be involved. And this job is hard enough without civilians getting in the way.
You shot a woman that was perfectly disguised as Mia, and then you stole his baby. Of course he got involved. So yeah, Miranda disguised herself as Mia so she could take Rose. Chris and crew tried to kill her, but she just mimicked a corpse, crashed their car, and stole Rose. Ethan plans to take this crazy machine to kill Heisenberg, which is made of a metal polymer composite that he won't be able to control with his powers. Meanwhile, Chris plans to blow up the factory. I don't see how that helps us. I still think we could use that metal army against Miranda, but whatever. I'm clearly not on the same page as anyone here. Ethan fights Heisenberg in an insane boss battle. Naturally, Ethan wins in the end.
This can't be the end for me! I must kill her!
It just feels wrong. He deserved to get his revenge on Miranda. It's not fair. So then Miranda shows herself, and we see her mimicry in action. We learn that not only did she disguise herself as Mia, but the Hag too. It feels so rude calling her the Hag, but that's literally her character name. She tells Ethan that Rose belongs to her, and she can't wait to see her true daughter again. Then she rips Ethan's heart out and squeezes it until it bursts, and Ethan dies. Not to rub salt in the wound, Ethan, but that probably wouldn't have happened if you joined Heisenberg. Now we have to play as Chris as he makes his way through the village, plowing through lichens. There's mold sprouting up from the ground and consuming the village. That's because under the village is the megamycete, the source of the mold we've been seeing since the last game. It originated here. Chris plants a bomb in the megamycete and heads for Miranda's lab. As he heads there, his teammates talk to him.
I know it's too late now, but we really should have told Ethan the plan.
There wasn't time. We didn't expect Miranda to act so soon.
Even so, you should have told him.
Thank you for saying it. It is so true. This whole game could have been prevented if Chris just let Ethan in on his plan. And if Ethan wanted to be involved, either tell him no, you have it handled, or let him join, and at least then he won't be going at this by himself. Anyway, inside Miranda's lab, we learn that she, and likely the other lords, are a lot older than they look. So Miranda had a daughter named Ava that she lost to the Spanish flu. Miranda wandered in a cave to die after losing her, but she found the megamycete and its mold. When she touched it, she was struck with knowledge. The megamycete catalogs everyone who was in contact with the mold, so Ava's consciousness is in there, and Miranda thought that if she is in there, it's possible to bring her back. The megamycete gave her immortality and power, and she began her experiments on the villagers using the mold in Cadeau, hoping to find the perfect vessel for Ava. The four lords were the closest she got, but they were still unfit vessels for Ava. Lady Dimitrescu had a hereditary blood disease that required her to consume blood constantly. Donna had her mental struggles. Moreau, well, just look at him. And Heisenberg was defiant and straight up hated Miranda. Miranda gave a sample of the mold to the Connections, which they used to create their bioweapon Evelyn. Then the Baker incident happened, which made Miranda aware of Ethan and Mia, and then their powerful baby, Rose. But why does Rose even have powers in the first place? Well, it probably has something to do with the fact that she's Ethan's child. Chris finds Mia locked in Miranda's lab. She's been kept there for however long Miranda was pretending to be her. She tells Chris that Ethan can't be dead. He's special. Now we're Ethan again, who wakes up to Evelyn in front of him. She tells him that Miranda isn't the one who killed him. He's actually been dead for a long time. He was killed at the start of the last game.
Years ago, the Baker house. You were murdered by Jack.
You're telling me Welcome to the Family son was deadly? I mean, it makes sense. That punch and face stomp would have been deadly to a lot of people. Plus, there's the blood loss from his hand getting chopped off. So since that moment, Ethan's been nothing but mold. That's how he's been able to have his hand stapled back on and his limbs reattached with the help of some juice. And he can get impaled and stabbed and smacked all around and be okay. However, Miranda ripping out and squishing his heart was a little too much damage for our mold man. But he's going to use the last bit of his strength to take down Miranda, and when he wakes up, the Duke is already taking him there. You're my best friend, Duke. Ethan rushes to Miranda's ceremony. She's putting Rose back together, but she'll be reborn as Ava. Except the ceremony failed, and Ava didn't come back. It's just Rose again. She is just one powerful baby that refuses to turn into Ava.
What?
My power is leaving me!
You're telling me that Miranda's powers were drained just by touching Rose, and that Ethan is able to defeat her because her powers are drained? So what you're saying is that Heisenberg was right? They needed Rose to defeat Miranda? It's fine. I'm not mad. Why would I be? I mean, I only like him a normal amount after all, remember? So Chris shoots Miranda from a distance so Ethan can grab Rose, which is great, but where does Chris go after that? I mean, this is the guy that punched a boulder. I feel like he could have just given Miranda one punch to the face and it would have taken her out. But he doesn't. So Ethan takes on the transformed Miranda by himself. He defeats her, but the battle was too much on Ethan's deteriorating body, and he starts to calcify. The megamycete continues to grow, and Chris tries to get Ethan and Rose to safety so he can detonate the bomb, but Ethan knows his time is up.
God damn it. Goodbye, Rosemary.
Oh, it hurts. I know Ethan and I were fighting for a bit there, but I don't want him to die. He was just a regular guy who was a bit weird and went to great lengths to save his family. It's so sad. But I won't lie, it is kind of funny to think that if the megamycete catalogs everyone who's come in contact with the mold, he's now stuck in there with the Bakers, Evelyn, the Four Lords, and Miranda. That's gonna be awkward. Chris takes Rose to a helicopter where Mia is waiting, and she has to learn the news about what happened to Ethan as the village blows up. It just sucks because Ethan's death was so preventable. This probably wouldn't have happened if he joined Heisenberg, because his heart wouldn't have been ripped out, and he wouldn't have had to face Miranda alone. But going back even further, this wouldn't have happened if Chris just explained everything to Ethan. That would have changed everything. The game ends with a flash forward. We see a grown-up Rose visiting Ethan's grave.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? The day of all days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Whoa, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
Yeah, maybe don't make that joke ever, but especially not when she just got done visiting her father's grave. The two drive off, and we're shown a screen that says the father's story is now done. Just rip my heart out, why don't ya? Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. Resident Evil 8 did get some DLC. It's a story about Rose venturing into the megamycete to try and find a way to get rid of her powers. But she decides to keep them in the end and has to fight Miranda, who's in there, and Ethan helps her, and it's a great father-daughter bonding time. And that's all we got. The only extra content we got for the Lords was Lady D and Heisenberg being added to Mercenaries mode. Yay. I won't lie, it hurts knowing that the Lords didn't get any DLC content with how popular they were. I would have loved a Join Heisenberg DLC, but all I got was this. Resident Evil 7 got so much DLC, both goofy and story related. Why couldn't 8 get that too? Well, anyway, that does it for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil 8 Village. Are these games perfect? Of course not. But I don't care. They're my favorites in this series. They're very special to me. Any complaints I have are because I love the story and the characters so much, and I think that more could have been done with them. I love Ethan Winters, even though he's a weirdo and can be a little dumb. His devotion to his family is everything to me. I love the Baker family. Their tragic story of being taken over by Evelyn will always stay with me. That sweet family wanted to help her, but in the end they were turned into monsters and forced to hurt people against their will. I love the Four Lords. Each of their sections of the game is so different, but interesting, just like them and their backstories. Mother Miranda experimented on them, called it love, and forced them to serve her. Sure, they're not completely innocent, but that's what makes them interesting characters. I love Carl Heisenberg. I am admittedly not normal about him. He's such a fascinating character to me that is doomed by the narrative. He spent years trying to get revenge on the woman that took him and experimented on him. He wanted to be free, but that freedom was taken from him in the blink of an eye. And the end of Resident Evil 8 may hurt me, but boy does it leave an emotional impact. Overall, the story, characters, and themes of family in these two games will forever have me in a chokehold. I love Resident Evil 7 and 8. Have you played or watched someone play these games? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know who your favorite character out of these two games is. We all know who mine is.
Give me the metal man.
If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, and happy Halloween!
I like you.
I like you.